beautiful friends. Welcome back to 365 Days of Love and Miracles with A Course in Miracles. My name is Arlene Geres, and I am so glad that you are here. Please remember to listen right until the very end, because we have a special treat for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please click like and subscribe below, because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 50. I am sustained by the love of God. When I think about the word sustain, I think about things like food, I think about shelter, I think about being sustained by the love of my husband and by the love of my friends. Dictionary.com defines sustain in the following ways: to support, hold up, or bear from below. It's to bear such things as a burden or a charge. It's to undergo, experience, or suffer. It's to keep a person, the mind, the spirits, etc. from giving way as under trial or affliction. It's to keep up or keep going as an action or process. It's to supply with food, drink, and other necessities of life. Well, God does all of these things. God supports us. God holds us up. God bears our burdens as we undergo any kind of experience or injury, suffer any kind of loss. God keeps our mind and our spirits from giving away. God helps us to keep going, to not give up. God supplies us with all of our needs. Let's read today's lesson. I am sustained by the love of God. Here is the answer to every problem that will confront you today and tomorrow and throughout time. In this world, you believe you are sustained by everything but God. Your faith is placed in the most trivial and insane symbols: pills, money, protective clothing, influence, prestige, being liked, knowing the right people, and an endless list of forms of nothingness that you endow with magical powers. Let's talk about it. These are the ways of the world, the ways of the ego. A lot of what we think sustains us are simply distractions from the pain in our lives. Things like a successful job, things like worrying, things like having prestige, having the right clothing, driving the right car. All of these things, we might say they sustain us, but all things of the world will eventually fade away. Only God lasts forever. Let's read on. All these things are your replacements for the love of God. All these things are cherished to ensure a body identification. They are songs of praise to the ego. Do not put your faith in the worthless. It will not sustain you. Let's talk about it. If we build our house on sinking sands, that sand is going to give away and our house will tumble and fall to the ground. That's exactly what this is talking about. We cannot put our faith in the things of this world. Only God will sustain us. Let's keep reading. Only the love of God will protect you in all circumstances. It will lift you out of every trial and raise you high above all the perceived dangers of this world into a climate of perfect peace and safety. It will transport you into a state of mind that nothing can threaten, nothing can disturb, and where nothing can intrude upon the eternal calm of the Son of God. Let's talk about it. If we are in this place of eternal calm, we know that God is our home. We know that this love is the truth of who we are. Nothing can shake that. No matter what goes on in the outside world, we are safe and secure in the loving arms of God. Only the love of God will protect us in all circumstances. Let's keep reading. Put not your faith in illusions. They will fail you. Put all your faith in the love of God within you, eternal, changeless, and forever unfailing. This is the answer to whatever confronts you today. Through the love of God within you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and sure confidence. Tell yourself this often today. It is a declaration of release from the belief in idols. It is your acknowledgement of the truth about yourself. Let's talk about it. This is the answer to what confronts you today. This is the answer to all of our problems. Whatever we are faced with, we simply stop and we say to ourselves, I am sustained by the love of God. What causes us the greatest difficulty in this life is when we think that our safety, our protection, our security lies in people, places, and things of this world. People die, people let us down, things break, life falls apart sometimes. Only God can sustain us 100% of the time. Let's come home to God. Let's put our faith and our trust in God. Tell yourself this often today. It is a declaration of release from the belief in idols. Are you willing to declare your release from your belief in idols? Perhaps you are believing in another person. Perhaps you are believing in your job. Perhaps you are believing in your health. As most of us discover, if we live long enough, eventually all things fade away. Only God can sustain us. Let's read on. For 10 minutes, twice today, morning and evening, let the idea for today sink deep into your consciousness. Repeat it. Think about it. Let related thoughts come to help you recognize its truth and allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection and surety. Let no idle and foolish thoughts enter to disturb the holy mind of the Son of God. Such is the kingdom of heaven. Such is the resting place where your Father has placed you forever. Let's talk about it. I love to contrast the language of the ego in the lesson as opposed to the language of God. Let's look at what this lesson has to tell us. In the world of the ego, we have words such as trivial, insane, nothingness, foolishness, worthless, body identification, illusions, idle. Is there anything there that appeals to you? Is there any reason why you would want to hold on to the world of the ego? When we move over to the love of God, we have words such as perfect peace and safety, eternal calm, changeless, forever unfailing, sure confidence, truth, protection, surety, and holy. This sounds much more attractive to me. If you have any doubts, I would suggest that you just give it a try. Keep on going with these lessons and allow that ego to be chipped away slowly every day as we learn to walk more and more with God. Let's talk about our practice sessions for today. This is really talking about going into a meditation. It suggests that we take 10 minutes first thing in the morning and just before we go to sleep to just sit with this idea. I am sustained by the love of God. Repeat it. Think about it. Let the related thoughts come to help us to recognize the truth. I am sustained by the love of God. And then just allow God's peace to wash over you. Let it feel like this warm, comfortable blanket of protection, surety, safety, love, and peace. Let no foolish thoughts enter to disturb the holy mind of God. We want to be aware every single time that our mind goes back to thinking the foolish thoughts of the ego. And we can say, no, I don't want to go there. The Course is all about us recognizing when we slip back into the old ways of thinking, we can bring ourselves back and say, the love of God sustains me. The ego does nothing for me. This is where we find the kingdom of heaven. In these 10-minute practice periods, we are literally changing the synapses in our brain where we have these old ideas that we have thought for years and years. We can break those connections and we can learn to think with the mind of God. We are encouraged to practice the lesson throughout the day, particularly when something disturbs us, to just come back and say to ourselves, I am sustained by the love of God. Thanks so much for listening right until the end. Are you ready for our special treat?
We're just about to drive through our complex to put the car away, and this is the highlight of Lolita's day. anything. She loves she loves to look out the window while we're driving. So fortunately, I can take a picture for her of her doing this because I'm going really slow and I won't get a ticket because I'm not out on the street. And you get a quick drive-by of all the different townhouses here. Actually, they all look the same. There we go. There we go, around the corner until we get to our parking spot. So there you go, folks. Lolita's view of the world.
Have a day full of God's love, my friends. I love you.